Are you there?
Yes. Ooh.
Oh, yes. Are
Yes,
we
I am,
ready,
sir.
buddy? Here we go. I've been looking for this one, buddy. I'm excited to get started. I'm going to skip all the intro bit that I normally do because I'm so excited, mate. Team whatever versus the Albanian fisherman. Come on, who's been looking forward to this one?
I think we've got a very good game ahead of us, good sir. And like you said, I think we're going to have some very, very nice games.
I mean, look, it's the final of the winners bracket, right? So, correct me if I'm wrong here, but the winner of this particular game, not obviously not this game because we've got a set to play, but the winner of this set is guaranteed to get at least second place, right? So technically speaking, they're guaranteed to at least get £50.
That sounds about right to me.
Is that right? That's right, isn't it? So all to play for, really, in the grand scheme of things.
Absolutely. And I think credit where credit's due. Barely anyone, obviously, has got to this point in the tournament. So regardless of whether you're going out in this game or going into the losers bracket, they've all done extremely well.
Well, and look, the idea of a double elimination bracket, right, is that everyone gets a chance to play twice, right? So even if they lose this game, they still have a shot at, having a go again, right? So, the loser of this game goes on to play the winners of the losers bracket. For their chance to come back into the grand final. So it's definitely all to play for. Both teams have got to look at this strongly as moving forward. But look, welcome in everybody. 2v2 Pangea Tourney then with the Hermetica clan. Winners final, match 27. We've got whatever versus Albanian fisherman. We've got Crater Silla.
Crater. Yeah, not one that I've played loads of. Don't know about you, Stuart. And not, I think, one really many have played. Yeah, yeah. However, if we get a game going, I can give you a little bit of a idea of what you can do. Now, this is actually the map that the good old Albanian fishermen have chosen, and I think you'll see why when we get this game kicking off. So, as you can see, wood lines are non-existent near your base.
Yeah.
And if you just scroll out a little bit, the wood lines at the top and the bottom and the sides of the map are pretty much infinite. So you've got to bear that in mind, that you're going to be very exposed, especially in the early game. Very difficult to wall around them. So early scout pressure is going to be pretty deadly. You're starting with a pretty nice amount of stone and gold around your base, though.
Yeah.
So we're going to be seeing some pretty efficient TC drops, potentially on both of those resources as well. And then if you just head into the middle of the map,
we've got. Should we get it going? Should we get the game running in the background, everyone? Should we? Should we do it? Should we fire up? Should we get it rolling? We might as well whilst we talk, right? Let's get this show on the road, shall we? Let's go.
Yeah, like I was saying, Stuart, you might see one or two relics in the middle, and I must admit I'm very surprised that we aren't seeing any Lithuanians, because if you get an advantage here, get all those relics, you're going to have some very, very nice knights with the extra attack going into Castle Age. But yeah, just looking at the civs right now, we've got Albanian villager playing his favorite civ, which is the Magyars. We know what he can do with those scout rushes. Obviously, extra good on this map because of the wood lines on Crater. And then we got Dopefish coming in with the Mongolians. So we're going to be looking at probably some archer play and then going into that very nice Mangadai in the late game. So it should be nice to see there. Yeah. On the other side, we got K1 with the Khmer. We've seen what K1 can do with the Khmer in previous games in this tournament. I think I can't really forget his Atacama play with those scouts, and the knights playing early castle was very nice. So hopefully we're going to be seeing a bit of that on Crater as well. And we've got Eamsley, interestingly, with the Hindustanis. So 2 cavalry civs. Not sure that's going to potentially go down very well. Obviously, if the other team makes some pikemen, it could be horrible for them in Castle Age. However, Mr. Stewart, we have seen Eamsley do some pretty nice camel plays throughout this tournament.
We have, definitely. And we've seen some great team play between the pair of them, right? Lots of X's on the map to mark each other what they're doing. If you remember that one, that was quite funny, wasn't it? I think it was Aimsy tagging K1's what was it? I can't remember. It was something in his wood line, wasn't it? But either way, it was rather funny indeed. But look, teamwork's what this game's all about, especially in team games. We've said that quite a few times, right, Silla?
Yeah, and I think it's been really nice to see the coaching that K1 has obviously provided to Eamesy. And like we've seen him play some incredible games. And even when Eamesy's seen down and out, I remember the golf game on Arena that we casted together. He somehow got himself back in it, and you could see the coordination was there. So that is really, really nice to see.
Yeah, good stuff. So Lumber Camp's going down right on that wood line straight away then, which is clear to see. Guys, thanks ever so much for the bits coming in. Just want to give a shout out to a couple of guys in the chat there. Rev Miracle, absolute legend. There he is. I think always in the chat, the one and only Rev Miracle, right? Don't be spending all that birthday money on bits, Rev, for you now. Keep that calm. Let's go. Smiley, welcome in. Nice to see you. Indeed. Right, cool. Let's get cracking. Well, look, not much going on the Dark Ages there, I suppose. Just luring the boars, getting in the goats, as I would call them.
Getting the goats in.
I mean, you can't really wall up on this map, Silla, right?
No, it's really, really difficult. We're going to be seeing some pretty interesting walling. Maybe go for the one tactic you guys might know about is if you don't fully wall, but the walls just cover the kind of outskirts of your base, and then you have the middle near your TC open, but when the enemy comes near the TC, obviously you can garrison it. Yeah. Now, it does require a degree of skill that I personally do not possess, but I'm sure with good micro players like Albanian and K1 that they might go for that. And you can also see, Stuart, there's many, many deer on this map, and actually just looking at green space right now, he's got a really nice placed mill. So he's going to be getting some very nice food income.
Yeah, that's it. He's going to be going quick there. So what do we see then? Look, judging by, we've got a bit of attack going on there from Albanian's scout. I don't think he took a villager out from Aimsy there. His scout coming to the rescue.
No, he hasn't, and he's actually lost a lot of HP on his scout. So his scout is not going to be that usable in feudal age. Obviously, remember the Magyars getting that free attack upgrade means they are very nice for picking early villagers in early feudal. So not sure I agree with that play from Albanian, but I can see why he went for it.
Well, we'd have a little go, that's for sure, right? So look, just quickly going back to it then, what I was saying. Sorry. So what looking at the civs, what sort of strats can you vision happening here, Silla? Always love your opinion on this.
Well, look, I think there's potential that all the players might go scouts here, which sounds a bit mad, right? Because usually on Arabia, one player goes scouts, one player goes archers. The reason you don't go double scouts is because you have two problems. One problem is the other team just makes spears and then you're hard countered. But alternatively, if you only have melee units, sometimes it's hard to get all your units to attack at once. So that's why one player goes archers so they can sit behind and shoot. However, on a map like this, as you can see by Dopefish's woodline, the villagers are really far away from the TC. It's really hard to wall. And that's why scouts can be really, really deadly in the early game. So I wouldn't be surprised to see all the players going scouts, but we'll just have to wait and see. Three villagers actually going on to gold now, Stuart. So I'm already wrong. It looks like there are going to be archers coming in, but it will be interesting to see what Eamesy and K1 go for because they are both cavalry players.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Khmer and Hindustanis. Good old Hindustanis there, Eamesy. Good choice, buddy. Good choice indeed. Some more coming in, Rev Miracle. Love it, buddy. Love it. Perlin, yeah, best of 3 this one. So the grand final will be played best of 5, where the money's involved. Rev dropping more of his right now.
Sure, I just want to point out here, and this is where you start to see the ELO differences, and it seems like small things, but K1 was actually the first up to feudal. He's the first to get the first 2 eco upgrades, and these seem like small things, only 10, 20 seconds. Oh, it doesn't really matter that much, but there's actually like the huge differences between the ELOs, and we're going to see K1 with a stronger economy, obviously with the Khmer farming bonus as well is really nice. And we're going to see him getting the first scouts out. And those few 10, 15, 20 seconds, they can make a huge difference.
Make a big bit of difference, yeah, definitely, 100%. So double range going down then for Dopefish, which you called by seeing the 3 going on to start a gold there. which is good. K1 bringing a couple more scouts over now. Do you think he's just scouting more, or do you think he's going to start trying to antagonise now? He's got the two. He's going to have a go, isn't he?
Generally, 2 or 3 scouts you need. He is going to go for those villagers on the gold. Dopefish actually hasn't walled anything in yet. He probably isn't going to get any kills here, obviously being right next to the TC. But I mean, look, you're seeing that advantage already. K1's already got the 3 scouts out. Red hasn't got any military yet. Yeah. And I think if you're seeing a player going up this early, guys, making 1 or 2 spearmen just to fend them off, prevent them from getting Vil kills is really, really important. And I would really like to see Dopefish do some spearmen and send them to the woodline right now. I'm surprised K1 hasn't gone over there already, but looks like he's actually moving there right now. He might pick up that villager doing a house.
That's it. Good stuff. Rev Miracle dropping the gifted sub to VT Matt. Look at that. Boom. And some more Bitty sitting in first place now, Rev. What a legend. North Star, welcome in as well. I have seen you there, mate. Hope you're doing good, buddy. On to cheer your brother, I believe, isn't it? Let's see. K1 putting a real bit of pressure on Dopefish now. It'd be interesting to know if these guys had watched either of their own matches back. Sorry, each other's matches back, just to get some idea as to what happens early on, right?
This is a really nice play from K1. He's using the scout to block, using the small gap to block in, and he's just picking so much of the economy and army off, and Dopefish's army's all over the place right now. It's really nice play from K1. But I am seeing Albanian's villagers, scouts in the north in K1's base right now. So
coming up, isn't he? Looks like he wants to have a little go there. Let's just quickly see what goes on here. Let's see if Dopefish can fend that off. Are we surprised to see K1 hasn't gone back to his base yet? K1's done a brilliant job of walling. The reason he's gone Khmer for a map like this is because the way that you can hop in houses, the only civ you can do that with villagers, is meaning that he's got a huge advantage on the defensive. And Stuart, look at those villager numbers already. Yeah. 27 Vils and 25 for the fishermen, 32 and 28 for whatever. We're already seeing a big eco difference, and we're a few minutes into feudal. I mean, this is excellent play by whatever. Yeah. They certainly got a few of Dopefish's villagers there. I think it was definitely worth the trade, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And I'm just looking at Villager's base because I'm not sure there's been that much pressure on his base, but he seems to have just missed villager production. So, Stuart, has he gone for 2 stables or something like this?
He has gone.
Yeah, 2 stables.
2 stables there, yeah, that's right.
So, fun fact, guys, I made this mistake in the tournament. Sometimes your food income isn't really good enough to do 2 production scouts, and if you do it, you end up losing villagers, which affects your eco, which means you can't create the scouts anyway. So this is why generally double stable isn't done unless you have a specific map where you have more food. And I think Albanian villagers' eco has really suffered because of that.
Yeah. Okay. This is going to be interesting for K1 now. Then he's got looks like a coordinated attack coming to his base, whilst he goes in the meantime to try and get a few more Vils out. Let's see what happens in his base. See how he defends this with the scouts coming in.
Yeah, it could be nasty
as well. Yeah. Not looking too great. He decides to send his scouts back, which is a good idea.
Yeah, and this is what you like to see from Red. He's now got 4 spearmen. He knows K1 is committed to scouts. And those spearmen are going to just prevent K1 from taking a good fight. Albanian needs to be with him, though, to make sure that they're both coordinating their armies together. I think K1's going to have to go for some sort of tower on this gold, otherwise he's going to have a real hard time taking it.
Yeah. That's it. Looks like Albanian's coming in for those gold Vils now.
Yeah, look at this. It's not looking good for K1 right now.
Hopping into the houses, making good use of the house there, Silla. Love that with the Khmers, right?
Absolutely, but the amount of idle time they're causing right now is massive. and nobody clicking to castle just yet, although the villager advantage for whatever is looking nice. However, you've got to think of the efficiency of these villagers right now. K1's got a lot of villagers doing nothing, but Eamesy has gone relatively untouched, so hopefully we're going to be seeing
let's see what Amesy's up to over here. Looks like he's going for a bit of a boom, I would say, sort of there.
Yeah, looks like it. Albanian villager, actually the first to click up to castle, which is really surprising because he's actually got the least amount of villagers. But I think this is what happens when you have a kind of untouched eco, even if you're not necessarily doing perfect villager production. K1's going to be doing the hand wheelbarrow now, guys, and I imagine he will be clicking up afterwards. But he does have a lot of pressure on his base right now.
Yeah. That's it, and I think as soon as Dopefish goes up to Crossbowman, it's definitely going to be starting to get a bit tough for K1. Some interesting conversations going in the in the Discord voice channel, I should imagine, right now.
Yeah, I think we've seen this situation a lot for whatever, when the pressure on K1 at the end of Feudal has been very high. Eamesy remains untouched, and I think K1 has relied on Eamesy to do damage in early Castle Age. So we're going to see what Eamsy's going to do. And it's interesting, right, Stuart, because you wouldn't expect this, right? Usually you'd be, oh, what's the high elo player? What's the high elo player doing? But right now, Eamsy's the one that's got to do the work.
So well, it looks like Amesy's going to be clicking up any moment now, and it certainly looks like he's going to have. Sorry, he's already clicked up, hasn't he? He's only got 55 seconds left. He's definitely got the eco to slap some camels out. I know that's what I'd be saying if I was in his seat right now. Being a veteran Hindu player. I wouldn't say veteran, but
this is K1 is going to get to Castle Age roughly about the same time as Dopefish. Albanian's going to start producing knights now. They are going to start heading over. And just right now, yeah. Eamesy just needs to take the pressure of K1 right now, because there's no way he can take the fight here.
And it's true. If number of scouts out from Aimsy there, from K1, sorry.
Yeah.
Here come the camels then from Aimsy.
Absolutely. So you're a big Hindustani player, Stuart. What would you be doing in this situation right now?
I'd be pulling my finger out and getting camels over as quick as I could, so that's what I'd be doing. That's what I would be doing. Rev Miracle, what's Aimsy doing in Albanian's base? Nothing, I believe, buddy. I think he's concentrating on getting over to...
Oh, big fight.
To K1. Okay, just...
And I think...
Go on, Silla. Four spearmen left now.
Yeah, I think K1 needs to just wait for the light cav and the extra armor upgrade. The light cav is such a huge upgrade for the scouts, and there you go. It's hitting right now, +2 just coming in, and I think... But this is the thing, right? He's got such a massive archers, and the
Albanian
knights...
in... yeah, here we go. Got the knights in Aimsy's base now, taking out the Vils.
Yeah, that's a really nasty one. And I'm just looking at the rest of the wood line. It doesn't look like Eamsy's got any other wood lines. And the thing is, guys, when your wood line gets cut off like this, it's so difficult to get back up there, especially when you've got knights running around your base. I'm just thinking right now, maybe Eamsy should have just left a couple of camels in his base, especially if Albanian was definitely going to make knights. Sending the camels over to fight spears was never really gonna help the situation too much.
Yeah. Okay, second TC going down from Aimsy outside here. Yeah, it's tough for them, isn't it? Not really wanting to engage it, but knowing he needs to engage it. Mind you, the cavalry's here. No pun intended there.
Yeah, it's crazy really that they had such a big eco advantage at the start of
Yeah.
feudal, but now that's all been completely reversed. Albanian about 10 villages ahead, and this fight could be very, very big bow. Not many knights around for Albanian villager. Quite a few crossbows though. If Eames and K1 can take out this crossbow group, it could be very, very nice. But more knights coming in from
Yeah,
the
that's
back
it.
of the base.
Certainly, it's not going to do them any favours, is it? There's quite a bit of resources in the bank as well for Dopefish.
Wow,
And
thousand food.
yeah, an Albanian villager. Um, we've got the chat. Is it GG? Oh, I don't know. I'm going to say it's a bit too early for GG. I think it's throwing backwards and forwards, and the score's very, very close still, right?
Yeah, I think whatever are going to clean this up, but it's not going to be like the most amazing cleanup of their entire lives, and there are more nights being streamed in by Albanian villagers, so it's, yeah. Is it GG, Rev? I don't think so. Not quite yet, but yeah, the advantage is definitely with the fishermen right now. Although they are now only one villager behind, so not looking as bad as it was a few minutes ago for sure.
No, that's it. Although all of that going on, K1 still commits to getting his second TC down. Go on, K1. Third TC, beg your pardon. He's already got one slapped up there in the wood line.
Stuart, isn't it crazy that these players can do all this fighting and then kind of do their eco management all in the background? Like it's
totally
just
agree.
insane,
Yeah. Sitting here with my jaw on the floor, going, huh?
So it looks like Albania's actually gone for a monastery, which is not just a smart play because there's a lot of relics in the middle, and obviously they're handy to get, but also obviously not an ideal matchup for Magyars with the Hindustani camels running around. So just having one or two to fend them off.
Certainly helps. That's
it.
Getting it converted. You're right there, aren't you? It's happened plenty of times. Amesy just going for the Bill's on the edge there, trying to take as many as he can out. Looking like he wants to engage because he knows he could take the knights down. I think you're right. It's just this monk sat here that's yeah. Look at the range on that bad boy.
Oh, one thing I would like to see the fishermen tech into is a dedicated anti-cavalry unit. They know K1 and Eamesy are both doing cavalry units, and just adding in a few pikemen can make such a big difference. And I remember the last time we casted Stuart that they Rev and Jesus, I just added them in a bit too late, and maybe they've watched that game, maybe they're going to learn from it. We'll just have to see.
Well, it's certainly been end-to-end action so far. And look at that score. You know I'm a big score man, Sulla. Look at that. Very even there. As K1 goes in for another raid after the beating he's taken, he's still pushing.
And this is the crazy thing, isn't it, Stuart, about the high-level players? We were looking at K1's base a few minutes ago. It was looking a bit rough with the spearmen and the archers and the knights. And somehow he's the top scorer. Somehow he's got the most armies. Somehow he's got the most villagers. It's insane.
Yeah, great play. Amesy getting a castle down then, defensive castle. Really wanting to defend that eco. Very right and all, I think, with that. Being Hindustani's needing that good gold behind you, that's for sure. Okay, so Villager and K1 on 3 TCs now then. Surely won't be long until we see Amesy and Dopefish. There we go, Dopefish, just as I said, it puts his third TC down.
Yeah, but look at the eco difference again, Stuart. It's they somehow reversed it on the head again, 25 vil difference.
Yeah.
And I think you can just give credit to K1 here for getting those 3 TCs up. I think Albanian was stuck on 2 for a long time. Dope was stuck on 2 for a long time. And I'm just looking at these night buses coming in.
Yeah.
Crossbowmen are chasing them, but they're just not going to get there in time. And I know these seem like small little raids, 5 villagers go down, but the eco difference is already humongous.
Yeah, and that's it. Garrison they go. What's he going to do here then? I suppose he knows he can't garrison them all, can he?
Exactly, and
So-
we're going to see 5 or 10 vills go down here.
Wow. Albanian villagers knights coming to the rescue now as well. Yeah, K1 decides to run away. Really looking to see Amesy's play come out now. Just the 3 stables down.
Mr. Stewart, K1 has just clicked up to Imperial Age, and I'm just looking at the resources right now for Dopefish and Albanian, and Dopefish has a lot of food, but I'm not seeing Albanian clicking up to Imperial anytime soon, especially with 80 villagers. And we know this game is all about timings, and if K1 gets that Cavalier plus 2 armor, what are they going to do?
Yeah. Yep. Okay, the chat is going off, if I must say.
Is K1 a god, Stuart? That is the question.
Yeah, well, we will certainly see, won't we? He's got some work to do still. It's not over yet, right? I mean, this army here straight away is going to be taking his knights out. It's just if they decide to dive Rev Miracle on the bits again. Rev, you've got to save them for the towards the end when we know who the winner is. Don't spend them all now. But look, we do appreciate it, mate, as always. Okay, right. Amesy going in for an attack on Albanian villager then. Let's see how he can get on with this here. A lot of idle vills. Assume the TC's maxed.
Yeah, I think Albanians, there's a fight in the north right now. Albanians obviously focused on this right now. I think Eamesy's doing a good job. Imperials in, Cavaliers coming in, +4s coming in. I do like the local army supremacy for the fishermen right now. We've got 35 knights and about 30 crossbowmen up there. But when this Cavalier and the +4 here, I think we're going to be seeing a very nice fight for K1.
That's it. And obviously they know that as well, right? So they've seen that happen. Oh
dear.
Oh dear, look at that. We've got some interesting action happening right there.
The one time you don't want it to happen, and it happens.
How has that happened? Wow, what a turn. What a turning point.
Game over.
Very interesting indeed. Guys, I think on that note, we're going to have to take a break. We're going to see what's gone on here. Whether there's a corrupt file or whether... I mean, we know it's the right version for the game because we sorted that out and we've played 39 minutes of it. I tell you what, go and put the kettle on. Come back with a big cup of cocoa. And someone's using cheat codes, Rev. Yeah. I mean, clearly that's not me. You're not pointing at Mr. Stuart Cheadle there. Yeah, someone in the game has. Yeah, that's funny. That I reckon. Who'd reckon that could be? Yeah, go and get yourself a cup of cocoa. Let's see what's gone on. And look, we'll be right back. Ad break, yeah, ad break prime time. That's it. We're taking an ad break, but with our ads, you get to look at a beautiful "Be Right Back" screen and some lovely soundtrack music. So, look, guys, don't go anywhere. We'll try and get this sorted as quickly as we can, and we will be right back. All right, Silla?
All right, sorry about that, guys. We'll see you soon.
Good stuff. See you in a bit. Okay. Wow. Silly, are you with me?
Hello.
He's back. There he is. Oh my lord, I can only apologise to everybody that is here. I think definitely a technical issue, to say the least. But yeah, nonetheless, we're back. So shall I finish off where we left off, Silla, with what I was trying to tell everyone?
An explanation is probably necessary.
So what? An explanation as to what went wrong? You mean?
Oh no! As in, sorry, no. What happened?
Cool.
What happened last game? Just
Yeah, so right, game one then. So we got to 39 minutes and 41 seconds, and then the file went kaput, and the game ended, and we couldn't see any more. But like I said, with the insider information we have, as you can see on the screen there, it's 1-0 whatever. All right. So what happened was K1 got to Cavalier, like you said, Scylla, killed the army that was in the base. We're still here, aren't we? It hasn't cut off. No, good. Sent the army into Red's base, and then Albanian fisherman called the GG. So there we have it, Sulla. 1-0 to Team Whatever.
Yeah, it looked like it was all kind of dependent on that fight, didn't it? And K1 having such a massive advantage with all the upgrades. There was no way they were going to build their military back in time, and they're still going to be an age behind. So it made sense why they would have surrendered. Yeah.
Exactly, and not to mention, obviously, Amesy had the camels already in Albanian fishermen's base. Albanian villagers' base, I believe. Taking down quite a few vills there. So yeah, perhaps a bit of internal comms between Albania and Dopefish was let's call it, get the first one out of the way and try and push a bit harder. But correct me if I'm wrong, Sulla, didn't Albanian fishermen pick Crater?
Yeah, I think so. And I think the reason they would have picked it, guys, is because, as you can see by the wood lines, it's super open. It only takes one horrible raid in the early game to get a really significant economic and military impact. But it just didn't work out for them. K1 did what he did every game, is apply the early pressure with the scouts really well. And yes, they were causing a lot of damage in late feudal, early castle. But K1 managed to boom with 3 TCs. The other 2 opposing players were only on 2, and we saw the eco difference by the end of the castle for sure.
And Amesy pushing the raids, I suppose, so to speak, quite intermittently as well. So yeah, okay. Well, look, let's get going then, shall we? Let's steam into game 2 of the winners final then. Arena, I believe, Sulla.
Yeah, I'm really surprised K1 and Amesy have picked this, mostly because I know K1 doesn't like Arena that much, always complaining when we get it in ranked. But it makes sense, right? He knows that he's going to be getting lots of early pressure being the higher elo player, but Arena makes sense because he's going to have that secureness, should we say, from the Wolves.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, well, look, let's kick it off then. Arena as the first game. Let's pray we don't get the good old what do you call it? The corrupt file appear or something like that again. That would be rather frustrating, Scylla. I'm sure you'll agree. But look, come on then. So K1, surprise, Mongols.
Yes, Callum is shocked, obviously. K1 picking Mongols. Wow. And Amesy with the Goths, so exactly what they did last time.
Yeah, interesting.
And Dopefish gone with the Franks, and Albanian with the Koreans. So interesting there, because Albanian usually playing cavalry civs, so a bit of a switch from them.
Yeah.
Now, what we're looking at here, guys, is better ecos for the Albanian fishermen, especially in feudal and castle. Obviously, the only eco bonus the whatever really getting is the K1 hunt bonus, but that's not really going to play much. Well, it's not going to play any effect in feudal. Certainly not going to play any effect in castle. So there will be an advantage in castle age for Dopefish and Albanian. However, the late game with the Mangadai, the late game with the Huskal and the Halberdier spam from Amesy is going to be pretty darn hard for Albanian and Dopefish to beat. So they need to make something happen. Maybe we're going to be seeing some castles from the Korean player, maybe some of those really horrible war wagons. We know how difficult that could be to deal with on Castle Age, but we will have to wait and see. Hopefully we're going to be seeing some early pressure in this game, Mr. Stewart. What do you think?
Well, I think they need to. Like you say, I think Albanian fishermen need to put that pressure on, because we know how well K1 and Amesy play with these civs in late game, as you said, and obviously working well together and playing Arena countless amount of times, right? So yeah, I think they do. I think they've got their work cut out, Scylla, that's for sure. Going to be a good game. The question is it going to be a quick one? or is it going to be a long-winded arena play? Let's see what happens. What do you make of resource positioning then? Obviously, this is always a good conversation for the arena bases. Who do we feel's got the worst share of it?
Yeah, if we just go to K1's base, because I think predictably we might be seeing a forward castle from Albanian here. So we do have the stone on the front. Remember, stone is really important for the Mongol player, because without it you cannot produce the Mangadai. So early castle at the front could potentially deny the stone.
Yeah.
But we do have stone off to the back of K1's base. Admittedly not in the walls. Certainly getting a second castle down there is going to be really hard. So we'll just have to see. It is really, really hard for any civ to deal with the castle drop into war wagons. Obviously, those war wagons having a lot of HP, a lot of pierce armor as well, means they can tank TC fire, even castle fire, to be honest. So yeah, it'll just be really interesting to see what happens. I hope that the Albanian fishermen don't make the mistake of just going to the very late game, because it will just be so difficult for them to win.
Just looking at the resources and placement and whatnot, I think it looks to me as though Albanian villager has the best resource placement, with the stone and gold being all towards the back. Dopefish is very much on the front there.
Yeah, when you spawn in on an arena map, sure, you want to be really seeing the main gold to the back of the base, but almost just as important, if not more important, is having stone at the back of your base as well, because without that stone you can't build a castle, and sometimes that makes it really hard to defend. So yeah, Albanian space is pretty much exactly what you'd want as an arena player.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Black Rose Dragon, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you jumping in the chat with us. Is it going to be best of 3, best of 5? So this particular game is best of 3, because this is just the winners final, i.e. winners bracket. So it's not the grand final yet, and the grand final will indeed be best of 5. And we will get those dates published, no doubt, as soon as possible. Most likely after this game, I should imagine, Scylla. Bit of scouting then from Albanian fishermen in terms of the base as well, from all the players then. I suppose it's pretty standard just to keep an eye, see if anything's going on, is that right?
Yeah, I think generally once you've pushed your deer with scouts, you want to get a good idea of what the other opponent's base is looking like. You want to see if they've got any forward resources, especially if you're going to be dropping castles, or just seeing where they're going to be expanding to. If you know where your opponents are generally going to place their TCs outside of their base, it can be a huge advantage, and just working out where those resources are can give you a pretty good idea of where they're going.
Yeah. It looks like they're all certainly doing that as well.
K1 clicking up with 24 is pretty standard. Probably going to be on 2 TC straight away, 3 TC soon after when he hits castle. Remember, guys, Mongols can go up a bit earlier because they do get that hunt bonus, so they are collecting the boar and the deer a lot quicker than any civ. And it'll be interesting to see what villager number Albanian goes up on, because that will give us an idea.
26, I think. Yeah, there we go, 26, and he just clicks up straight away. Is that to get the bigger boom then?
I mean, it's a pretty standard number on Arena. It will just be interesting to see what he does when he clicks up to Castle. Presumably, he's going to be just doing Market Blacksmith to get the quickest uptime. But maybe K1 is predicting, right, in his head right now. He's thinking Koreans, war wagons, quick castles. That doesn't sound very fun. Remember also the Koreans get the quicker stone income. He might even go for some scouts. That would be very detrimental to his economy. But if he denied that forward castle straight away, obviously those scouts would pay dividends.
Okay, looks like we could see a fast castle as well, Scylla.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to be going for those scouts. Quite a few villagers on stone already, so maybe he will be going for that castle straight away. And maybe some
certainly
early
got the resources for it, Scylla. 758 on food and 190 on gold. Well, 200 on the gold now, so just a couple more farms, and he's up to castle with just 4 farms there.
Yeah, looks like Albanian will be doing a cast straight away. He's already on the 650 basically necessary.
Yeah. On stone as well. Here we go.
Yeah.
This is going to be a battle, isn't it?
But this is the thing, Stuart, is that because K1 is the quickest up to castle, he is going to have all this information. He's also going to have the earlier castle time. So if Albanian does go forward, it might not end very well. I've just noticed, Mr. Stewart, that Eamesy is still in the Dark Age. What's going on here?
Well, 27 Vils. He is Goths. Having a mother's meeting over there by the mill.
This is another thing to watch out for, guys, if you play Goths on Arena, is that you might be tempted to get Loom, because one of the Goth bonuses, you get it pretty much instantly. But remember, you need that gold to go up to castle stage quicker. And now Eames is actually going to have a problem where he's got enough food, but he won't have enough gold.
Yeah.
So he's actually going to have to stay in castle a bit longer than he needs to.
Quick use of the market, perhaps. Sell some stone.
Yeah, stone isn't a resource you want to be selling on Arena, though, because you need to be getting those extra TCs or even castles up. And his wood income isn't brilliant at the moment, so we're going to have to see maybe food or what's left of his wood being sold.
Let's see.
Actually, K1's scout going down. It's quite a big deal.
Yeah, let's see. Castle goes up then, a defensive castle, but like you say, he just wants to get his manga die out, I should imagine. Second TC going up at the back as well, pretty instantaneously.
Yeah, pretty standard. Maybe K1 would disagree with me here, but the reason he's done it there is to defend his gold, just in case Albanian does go into his base. It potentially could be a bit more forward to protect his stone from a forward castle drop, but I don't think Albanian is going to be going for that. So
Here
it does seem
we go,
like oh, wow, he is.
I think he is doing it indeed.
Wow.
There we go, places it right now there. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but K1 will not be able to see this yet. Or he will.
No, so bear in mind that will only be visible to K1 once the villagers start building it.
Yeah, okay, so right now he cannot see that.
And remember, there isn't any scout for K1 at the moment, so he's not going to have any idea that this is coming until it actually starts being built. However, the timings for Albanian aren't brilliant. Obviously, ideally, you want to build this as soon as castle stage starts. He's going to try and build it next to some resources. Obviously, I would like to see it ranging the stone. That's really going to be affecting the manga die production. However, he's just gone for the gold. He's going to be shooting that gate down. Not enough manga die in the vicinity to cause any significant damage to the villagers. But they might be able to pick off one.
Yeah, he's looking to get out there now, isn't he, with the castle at about 65%.
Could you check if these villagers have loom, Stuart?
Let's have a little look now for you, buddy. There we go. Yes.
No, they don't. 25 HP. Oh no, Stuart, what is this? Oh no. Oh no.
Okay, down to 23 Vils then. Is he going to delete the castle? I suppose you wouldn't if it's that done, right? Because you're just going to lose all the stone. Amesy goes up to castle as well. Second TC going down at the back there on the wood line. Dopefish coming over with knights then to see if he can clear these manga die. I don't think he's going to, is he?
No, the manga die can run away, and remember they can always just run in back to the castle. And oh no, 2 more villagers from Albanian. I don't know if they're going to get spotted or not. They're probably just going to avoid it.
Yeah,
the guys
coming down. Here we go. Let's see if they can finish that castle and get it up, Sulla.
I mean, they are going to finish it, but literally at what cost? And additionally, his economy at home right now is like a feudal age economy right now, Stuart. Yes, it's going to be annoying. Yes, they're going to shoot down the gate. He's actually going to get a few villagers as well. But that is a very expensive castle.
Yeah. Okay. Look at this. Amesy with the 4 TCs
Wow.
straight away at 20 minutes. That is why, ladies and gentlemen, he took a while to click up the feudal there. You can't really disagree with it, can you? Being a Goths player, you've kind of got to, haven't you?
No, I agree. And they're seeing that all the pressure is going on K1 right now. And if you're a Goth player, you want to boom, you want to get up to that magic 120, 130 vills, you want to get that production of Huskars going. And if all the pressure's on your teammate, then why not?
Yeah. Okay. Aimsy sending a bit of stone to K1 there. I assume that's going to be to get a second castle up.
Yeah. And there you go in the bottom of his base. I mean, it would be nice if that castle could go and defend the other stone. I mean, that's the ideal situation. But
yeah, what's that for then? Just
the back of his base.
To be for the gold, yeah, okay, and the back of the base. I mean, would you have not recommended here or something?
I mean, yeah, like I said, maybe a bit more forward. However, the good thing about this castle is it is going to be protecting all its farms at the back there, plus obviously that gold. The other thing to bear in mind, Stuart, right, is that Dopefish is doing a good job with these knights. They are causing damage. But right now, Dopefish and Albanian are both on 2 TCs. So 4 TCs in total. The other team are on 6 TCs total, and these differences will add up.
Yeah, definitely as they move into the late game later on then, if it goes that far. Okay, it was interesting that was, wasn't it? It kind of felt as though they were going to get their own back on team whatever. Okay, Albanian fishermen trying a different strat then. We've got to pull it down now. Castle for Amesy.
Wow.
Let's see how he's going to react.
So this castle is not really going to be doing anything significant in my opinion. Now, the reason why, the villagers are going to take a long time to get over here. They are here now. Eamesy's already really far ahead with villagers. It's going to take a while for that gate to be shot down. Albanian doesn't have the economy to sustain 2 castle
pushes
wagon production, plus the saboteurs that needed to open these gates quickly. I think this is just a massive overinvestment right now.
Oh, interesting to see. K1 sending his Mangadai down to help Amesy there. I think he's obviously going to be a bit too late for taking the villagers off of the castle. I think that castle's definitely going to be going up.
And Amesy's going to be doing a castle at home, Stuart, so a lot of this pressure is just going to be for nothing if he gets it in a good place. There you go, that's perfect.
They're all working away, look. Go on, guys. Get that castle up.
Amesy's teched into pikemen as well. Remember the Goth infantry being 30% cheaper in castle. So they're definitely going to have enough to defend. And actually a second castle coming down to Amesy. So I think he's learned from his previous arena exploit, should we say. And both these castles are going to cement the position. And there's no way the fishermen are going to get in here without any siege. It's actually a really good game sense by Amesy to know that this pressure was coming and to have enough stone for the 2Ts, enough for the 2 castles.
Yeah, that's it. And 4 TCs, so let's not forget the epic 4 TCs at 21 minutes, I think it was. I thought that was another TC going down then. It's not, it's university.
So you guys might be looking at the villager count right now and thinking, oh, it's not that bad for the fishermen. And obviously that massive war wagons in the base isn't ideal. But pushing under a castle and a TC isn't really possible unless they have huge numbers. K1's actually going up to Imperial now. So not the biggest economy you would expect from the Mongol player. But remember, the reason he's doing this is if he gets rid of this forward castle, all this pressure that Albanian has put his hopes into is just gone. Yeah. And Albanian's not even close to Imperial right now.
No. Okay. I mean, villager number-wise, I mean, look at the lead for Amesy is 75, Dopefish 78 for Amesy, 75 for Dopefish.
Yeah.
Both of them booming away. I mean, perhaps we've forgot about Dopefish a little bit here, haven't we? I mean, obviously no pressure whatsoever. He's been able to just crack on. I mean, look at the amount of farms he's got down. 43 farms in in total.
Yeah, it's true. It's a good economy, but remember, it looks like knights are still being produced. 3 in the queue now, 22 on the field. It's really, really nice. Potentially some damage to be dealt, but definitely not under 2 castles for sure. But those knights that he's making are delaying his Imperial time. And once K1 starts getting to Imp, gets Bracer in, gets Chemistry in, gets the Trebs out, I don't think those knights can take a good fight against those Mangudai.
Yeah. 4th TC going down from Dopefish. We can see just outside his base there on the wood and the gold. Always a good idea to bring one outside the front of your base, right?
Yeah, definitely. Especially if you have map control like that you do now. Why not? I mean, ideally, if you start taking the resources outside your base, if you take more of them when you get pushed back inside your base, obviously you've still got the resources in your base. So it's a good idea to do it as early as you possibly can. And actually, another forward castle damage to it. What do you think of this?
Oh, I was going to say I don't see a castle there. He's just deleted it, but he's put it down. I don't know if he's inched a square forward there.
So it looks pretty scary, right? That castle, but I'm seeing 2 Trebs in the queue for K1 right now. Obviously, this is going to be a really hard army for him to deal with, but those castles have got ballistics, guys. They've got Bracer right now. Chemistry's coming in. I don't see this as a good engagement for the Fishermen.
Spotted the Treb there, wanted to take the Treb down, but K1 was quick to snap out of that. So I assume we're going to deny the first castle with both of these Trebs now.
Yeah, the wagons don't take a lot of damage from these castles, but remember they're not doing any damage to the Trebs either. And I think that castle is going to be going down very, very soon. Only 47 stone for Albanian villagers, so he's not going to be able to repair it. And Eamsey is on the way to Imperial Age with 100 villages.
Wow.
He's going to have 110, 120 when he gets there. The Frank player's only got knights right now. He can tech into the throwing axeman, obviously a great unit against infantry Goths. But if the Halbs start coming out, which it looks like they are 13 in the queue currently for Mr. Eamsey, then it is going to be very difficult for Dopefish.
Look at the party along the wood line, Scylla. I mean, it's just amazing, isn't it? Look at them all working in unison. That's what we like to see. No one's on strike here at the Hermetica clan. Absolutely fantastic. It's what we like to see. North Star put a good one. K1 should let it go up. I assume that's the castle, because obviously, yeah, it's a waste of stone once you have Trebs. Obviously, with K1 taking it down. 4 Trebs now as well. Yeah, Scylla, you was right. Perhaps Albanian Fisherman is now realising that the push hasn't worked, and he's on the back foot a little bit. Obviously, he's still got his castle down here at Eamsey's base. Although I think they're both just concentrating on trying to get their eco up.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, Albanian's probably going to... Well, he has just clicked at him now. And it's not looking too bad, right, on the... If you look at it from this perspective, right? He's ahead of K1 and Vils, and now just equal. He's still got a bit of army lying around, but he's now got 2.5 minutes where he needs to survive against 5 Trebs and Mangudai. Stuart, do you think that's going to happen against K1?
No comment. Let's see what happens. Whatever happens, as some will say, it's going to be epic. That's what it's going to be. Let's see it for sure. Looking forward to seeing what Eamsey's going to get up to. Dopefish trying to put a defensive castle down. Pikemen going in hard to try and stop the Vils there.
Yeah.
We've got to switch back up here to see what's going on then. 2 battlefronts now, guys, we're going to have to keep in top of. Okay, Dopefish has decided to leave the pikemen to take the Vils out and concentrate his army up here to try and help take out the elite Mangudai, whilst the 4 Trebs are on their way, Scylla.
5 Trebs now, Stuart, and I mean,
Wow.
to be honest, the wagons do trade well against the Mangudai, but they need their Imperial upgrades, and I think our villager is actually taking into elite skirm, which again is going to be fine against the Mangudai, but Eamsey's adding in any Huskars, then they're going to be pretty much next to useless.
And I mean, this is the micro here from K1, right? We're watching a high elo player micro the army there, which is fascinating to watch. These trebs, one building at a time. Goodbye. Look at that.
Yeah. And right now, and this is another thing, guys, when you do forward castles and everything, if they get denied, if they get taken down, then your base is just completely open. And yeah, K1's doing a really good job of taking advantage of it right now. All the re-archery ranges, I would have liked to have seen them at the back of the base through it, so they don't just get taken out by these trebs. But I understand these things are very difficult to do when you got a million.
Well, that's it. And don't you want to put your army, barracks at the front so that you can get your army out quicker? Some people would certainly ask that. We've got a question from a first-time chatter, Oanan. Not going to read the number out, but welcome in. Lovely to see you here. Thanks for jumping in the chat. Please do remember to follow. It is free, of course. Look, we'll get a response back to you. So yeah, seed. We did seeding basically. So matched up teams based on elo. So yes, it's actually an even based elo match. This particular one you're watching. Not sure if you've seen any of the other games that we've casted. Please do let us know, and obviously do make sure you hit that follow button so you can be alerted as to when the next one's on. As this is just the winners of the final of the winners bracket. We are going to have a grand final after we've seen the losers brackets final. Should be shaped up to be good, Sulla, right? Dave and the dog still going strong. It's going to be interesting if they. Team whatever can pull it out of the bag here and be matched up against them. How funny would that be?
Yeah, I think that would be a very good game. But just looking at this one now, just notice that Dopefish is going into Swordsman, which is not something you generally see. Reason for this, guys, is obviously with not limited gold on the map, spamming Cavalier or even Paladin into Goth Halb is going to be the most inefficient trade you could really make in this situation. So he's actually going to be going into champion. Advantage with the Frank champions, they're fully upgraded. The Goth one's obviously missing the last armor upgrade. However, I'm surprised he's doing this and not going for the throwing axeman. Maybe he doesn't have the cast production he wants. But look at this, Stuart. Just slow, methodical destruction of this Frank cavalry with the Mangadai. They just truly are an insane unit, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. Especially when you got someone as good as K1 behind it microing, right? We've got to go over here now and check out Amesy.
Wow.
Here comes the push with the harbs, and the trebs, and of course the Cavs are just not going to engage, are they? Or oh no, maybe they are. I should imagine they're going to go straight for the trebs there to try and save the castles from going down.
I think they can try, Stuart, but I think Dopefish is a good enough player to realise.
Maybe they didn't see them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Second, he's teasing us now. Look, what's he going to do? Is he going to go in or not?
Yeah, it's just such good trades for K1. And I'm just looking at Dopefish's gold right now, 19 on gold. That's not what you want when you're producing knights. Ideally, you want sort of 35, 40, maybe even 50. And right now, with all these halves on the field, there's not really a way of Dopefish getting that map control he needs for that gold income. Elite Mangadai now coming in for K1, catching up with the Vils. And I'm just looking at Albanian right now. Only skirmishes being produced. It's not really what you want to see halfway in Imp. Wow.
Well, it's getting interesting, that's for sure, isn't it? I don't know if we're going to see a GG called anytime soon, but K1's getting a forward castle down now. I mean, not in his face, shall we say, but yeah, just getting a bit more of the map space, right?
Yeah, certainly. I think K1 knows that he's got an advantage, especially with Eames's essentially untouched economy. I think when he starts to get that Mangadai and light cavalry upgrade combination, I think he knows he's got a big advantage against Albanian. See, this is a really nice trade for Dope right now. Obviously, Swordsman hard countering the Halb line, but I think it's a very easy switch for Eamesy to add in some champions of his own. Even adding Huskars would be completely fine in this situation.
Okay, so another castle coming down from Dopefish then. I assume that's going to be to protect his stone resource there. I should expect we see these champions take these trebs out, sort of.
Yeah, but they might kill the Treb, Stuart, but there's now champions coming in from Eamesy.
Yeah.
Champion's still 40 seconds away for Dopefish, so he will have a bit of an advantage until that upgrade's in. Looks like he's not going to be going for the Trebs anymore, taking the fight. There's still a lot of Halbs in there, so maybe the numbers aren't entirely honest. But one thing to bear in mind, even if these Trebs go down, guys, remember the Goth infantry does extra damage versus buildings, so he can just run them in, although this looks like it is going to be Dopefish's fight right here. Eamesy needs to mass up 20, 30, 40 champion before he starts taking these fights.
Yeah, definitely indeed. He's taken out all the Harbs there and 2 of the Trebs. There we go, champions v champions. All in the meantime, we've got a push going to be happening here. We'll come back to that in a moment. Let's keep our eyes locked in on this fight between Dopefish and Eamesy, shall we? Until we see them pushing up the top there, which it's happening right now. Let's have a little look. Here we go then. So we've got a 2v1 happening now with Eamesy keeping Dopefish tied up down the bottom there. Smart move between team whatever.
Yeah, the extra Huskarls here are going to make a huge difference. Just completely negating all the skirmishers damage. And those light cav at the front are doing some nice work as well.
Yeah, and gates open and we're in. There we go.
Oh no, Siege Ram coming in for K1 as well. And if those Huskarls get in, which it looks like they are, again, reminiscent of when Eamesy got those Huskarls into the Dave and the Dog space.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that was a few games ago, wasn't it?
And just a few Huskarls there is just going to clean up all those skirms. Looks like Albanian is going to be taking into infantry, but it's not really what you want to be doing against Mangadai, who are just going to be shooting them all to death very, very easily. And looks like Albanian is going to be trapped in his base for the foreseeable future. Not a lot of gold income. I don't think he's going to be able to tech into exactly what he wants. Champions are coming over.
Yeah, Dopefish is sending the troops.
Stuart, right now, do you see a way of Fishermen getting back in this game? It is looking really rough for them.
Of course, there's always a way, Sulla. We're positive here at the Hermetica clan, aren't we? So let's keep rooting for them. You know, who knows what's going to happen, right? I mean, what do they need to do, Sulla?
I think right now we're getting to the point in the game where the Mongols kind of have what they need to win the game. Yes, the Mangadai numbers aren't massive, but Dopefish has spent a lot of resources going into Champion. Great against Goths, terrible against the Mongols. And those siege rams are just going to be methodically knocking everything down. Last gold pile for Albanian villager at the back of his base, but it is very exposed. And Dopefish is having the exact same problem. We're seeing like a mass exodus from his base right now. And unless they secure more of the map, they're just not going to have the gold they need to produce those units.
Yeah, that's it. Let us know in the chat. Come on, everybody. I want to hear it from each and every one of you. What do they need to do to stop Team Whatever here? What's the only option? What switch do they need to make? Come on, let us know. Put your thoughts in the chat. It'd be great to have you all engage. Oh, okay. So the chat's got a bit off there. It's funny. So we've got North Star saying, there we go. GG is called. Let's go through this chat quickly. We've got some funny responses we've got. So maybe too late, but Koreans could go to Onager. At the same time, VT Matt. Onager, bada booms is what he said, which is legendary. Berlin coming out with the hard hitting truth there. We've just resigned. That's that. There we go. There you have it then. Best of 3 is played for the match 27 for the winners final. winners bracket. That is, it's a double elimination bracket. This 2v2 Pangea Tourney. So, team whatever, gonna get a guaranteed £50.
Very nice.
Fantastic. Sula, have you got any words? Got anything to say with regards to that? I think we should try and get team whatever in for a quick chat if they're free. But in the meantime, was Albanian villager not supposed to push early on? I mean, surely the mentality between Albanian fishermen was, we've got to push early, we've got to make the move early, we can't let the Goths or the Mongols, boom.
I think it's strange, right? Because every single arena game, whatever, have used the exact same civs. And we all know K1 plays Mongols on arena. We all know that EMZ loves playing Goths on arena. So I feel like they should have known what civs they were going. Was Franks the right pick against Goths? I mean, not necessarily the worst pick. I think Throwing Axemen are a fantastic unit to deal with them. Could there have been better civs to pick than Franks? Absolutely. Koreans are really deadly on arena. The forward castle can be really deadly. However, you got two problems there. No loom, which is just crazy, completely crazy. And the second problem was he was just a bit too late, Castle Age, and K1 kind of knew what was happening. He already had Mangadai out, and that's why if you're doing a forward castle drop, guys, you need to be going up on 24 or 25 villages, if not less. But we're going to try and get K1 and EMZ if they're available.
Yeah.
And
would be good for sure. Wasn't Albanian villager? Didn't he go up on 24? Or am
he went
I
on
thinking of
26? Stuart, he went up.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, K1, how you doing? How you feeling?
Feeling good.
Welcome in.
MZ is. Yeah, apparently he's not around.
Well, good stuff. Well, I've sent him a quick message, so hopefully he can jump in and join us. But look, well played, mate. Two fantastic games. It's a shame we couldn't watch the ending of the first one.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether the update happened at that point in the game, maybe, and that's what threw it off. Maybe. Just thinking of an idea there for that. But yeah, look, very very well played. Question from me then. First game. Hell of a lot of pressure you had, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hell of a lot of pressure.
Yes.
How is it coping with that sort of pressure? What do you focus more on? Trying to attack and push back, or just close up and try and defend and rely on your teammate? What's going through your mind at that time?
Yeah, like when it's a 2v1 push, it's exactly like the last option that you talked about. Like I can only try to hold them off from killing villagers, which in that place picking the Chimera is actually really useful, because I believe if I had any other save, I would lose 8 villagers at least to that amount of pressure. But since I can just hop into the houses, there will be some idle time, but at least I'm not losing the villagers,
Yeah.
And meanwhile, when that is happening, Imzi is having an untouched eco, and since he has a camel stuff, he can always pressure the cavalry player. So in those scenarios, I just try to hold them up from killing villagers, waiting for MZ to get to Castage to either help me or to raid the cavalry player and force him to go to his base. Which in this case, the pressure was so much that I asked them to send some camels to my side. But yeah.
Yeah, that's it, and obviously we saw that. We saw them come through. I mean, we could only begin to imagine what the conversations must have been on the on that voice channel. But yeah, I mean that first game, it certainly looked like if there was going to be a game you guys was to lose, it was going to be the first one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So when Crater was picked K1, we were kind of saying to each other we have no idea what this map is, and obviously I had to do a quick Google check of what it actually looked like. Did you deliberately pick Khmer because you knew the woodlines were really bad, or was this just your general tactic with EMZ, you go Khmer and he goes the camel slip?
No. I only get it on the maps that I know I will have some sort of exposed. What do you call it? Exposed resources. Yeah.
Yeah.
I picked it once on the map in the first game, as a camo, I think. Yeah.
Mm.
Both that and also like since there's like a long distance for walking to your wood, you will be like if you're doing a build order, you will be low on wood, and with the Khmer, you don't actually need to make the barracks so you can have enough wood to do anything you want. Like it's a really nice tip to have at the early village, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. And just going on to the second game, you guys went for the same Civ choice, which I'm sure no one was surprised about. But when you saw that castle, I mean, first of all, were you expecting the forward castle from Koreans? And when you saw it, were you kind of surprised at how quickly you were killing the villagers?
So, first of all, yes, I think like that's I wouldn't say that's the only reason to pick Koreans because they're a strong civilization,
Mm.
but like especially against Mongols because I'm pretty sure he knew I'm going for Mongols and Koreans are actually a good civ against them. And since he was exactly against me on the map, I was sure he's going to do a castle drop. That's why I didn't try to put my castle even forward. I just wanted to protect my base with like 2 castles. I didn't expect the knights to come. That was really surprising. But yeah, I mean I saw the castle going up, and I sent like 2 Mangudais to try to kill like 1 or 2 villagers because I knew that I'm not gonna be able to stop the castle with like 2 Mangudais.
Yeah.
But then I clicked on the villagers and I saw he doesn't have loom, and then I like told Imzi to bring his scout, and I made like 2-3 more Mangudais, and yeah. I think if he had the loom, he would lose like I think max 3 villagers. He would get the castle up, and the push would be a lot more smooth. And he could probably think about going to M faster, but since he lost like 9 villagers there, he couldn't even think about like he should have either like completely like made normal villagers to go to imp, or if he wanted to make any sort of villagers, he couldn't get a faster imp than me.
Yeah, it was a real shame actually because I feel like when that happened, it was always an uphill battle for them. And when I saw you going to imp and getting the trebs out, I was like, wow, it's gonna be.
They did
really
actually. So I think you guys like probably didn't notice it, but I didn't have loom either, and that night raid killed 8 villagers in my base.
Oh.
Yeah, so I did the same mistake, and I lost 8 villagers to the knights that got into my base.
Sure, what are these new players not getting loom, honestly?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, you lost 8 villagers and you still managed to smash both games. So yeah. Again, just testament to a good player and a great team.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, look, can't wait to see the next game. You have made it through to the grand final. It's a shame Amesy couldn't jump on so that we congratulate him for that. So, listen, you know, £50 at least is going to be yours, mate.
Yes.
You know, so
25.
25 at least, yeah, of course. But look, we look forward to casting it. All right, so yeah, let us know when you guys arrange that. Obviously, we've still got the final of the losers bracket to cast, which should most likely be either tomorrow evening or Thursday evening. Probably more Thursday evening, I think, but I don't know. But look, we'll get that confirmed anyway. But that's going to be a good one to watch. And K1, no doubt you're going to be locked in the chat channel with us on that one, watching who your potential opponent's going to be, right?
Yeah.
That's
100%.
it. Do you have any words to let's say Dave and the dog specifically, right? Because we called it early on, didn't we? You know, there is the potential that you might meet Dave and the dog in the final. How interesting would that be?
Yeah, well, I mean, like the pleasure of going into the grand final in the winner bracket is that we're going to face a team that we already beat, so that's already a good like.
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah, I suppose the downside is they've practiced more K1.
Yeah.
So
Exactly, and also the fact that they want the revenge, you know.
Yeah, well, this is it, and they've seen all your games. But look, everyone, thanks for jumping in the chat. K1, thanks for your efforts as well, and obviously jumping into the interview at the end. You know, so look, thanks for jumping on again as well. And everybody in the chat, thank you ever so much for jumping in. We are going to raid out now, so please do stick around for that. It will be awesome. We're raiding into a good little channel, so there's a nice channel we're going to go into. Thanks everyone for jumping in. All the best. Enjoy the rest of the week, and we will catch up with you all soon. Good stuff. Cheers, guys. Thanks.
Yep. Casting. Bye.
Raid, welcome. You had a good stream. Can I convert a transport ship or no?
Ooh, try it. Imagine if it converted everything inside of it.